Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhattarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beda Vibhagine Vyomavatyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Gukaro Anthakaro Vairukarasta Nivartakaha Anthakara Nirodhitvat Gururitya Vidhiyate Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavathi Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Bhadram Karne Vishrunayama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshaviryachatraha Sthirairangai Sushtuvam Sastanupihi Veshema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishyavedaha Swasti nastaksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspati'r Dathatu Om Shanti 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 Om Prajnanam Shupratanai Sthiracharanikara Vyapibhirvyapya Lokan Bhuktva Bhogan Stavishtan Punarabhidishanot Basidan Kamajanyan Pitva Sarvan Visheshan Subidhi Madhura Bhungmayaya Bojayannaha Maya Sangyasturiyam Paramamృతమజం బ్రహ్మయత్తన్నతోస్మి యో విశ్వాత్మా వితిచ విషయాన్ ప్రాశ్య భోగాన్ స్తవిష్టాన్ పశ్చాచ్చాన్యాన్ సుమిధి విభవాన్ జ్యోతిషా స్వేన సూక్ష్మాన్ సర్వానేతాన్ పునరభిశనై స్వాత్మని స్థాపయిత్వా ఇత్వా సర్వాన్ విశేషాన్ విగత గుణగణః పాత్వసౌ నస్తురీయః. We are studying Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad along with its glorious Māṇḍūkya kārikā. And we are in the third section, Advaita Prakaranam, and in the 9th verse of Advaita Prakaranam. This section is completely making us understand by logic, applying logics. It is very important that our mind should accept what the Shruti says. It is not very easy what is being unfolded by the Shruti to understand by the mind. So logic will be helpful, but not completely we are depending upon the logic in order to get moksha, liberation, freedom from all kinds of limitations. Logic has the capacity to make us understand the reality. In some parts we need logic, and in some parts we don't need logic. We just think ourselves and go through what Shruti says. So we will go through the another verse which is very beautiful. 9th verse. Marane sambhave chaiva gatya gamanayorapi stitau sarva sharireshu akashena vilakshanaha. Marane sambhave chaiva gatya gamanayorapi stitau sarva sharireshu akashena vilakshanaha. Vilakshanaha, no difference. Avilakshanaha, akashena avilakshanaha. Vilakshanaha means there is different. Avilakshanaha, they are same. There is no difference between the example and what is shown through the example. We took the example of the space. Space is indivisible in real. We cannot divide the space into many. One space which is formless became different spaces according to the upadhis, names and forms. We already gone thoroughly through this example. There are different types of pots which are big, which are small, which are flat, which are thin, which are larger, which are very much in height. Different pots in the pot maker's house. Every pot has different space within them. Their belly space are different each other. So pot space are different, so that space have different spaces. We cannot say like that. Space is indivisible. Space is unlimited. Space cannot have any name or form. So that the space inside the pot is only in a relative standpoint with connected to the names and forms, ubadhi. So when there is no division between the spaces, in the same manner, one should take the jiva's reality, the soul's reality, the intrinsic nature of the every names and forms. Intrinsic nature of every names and forms are indivisible. They are non-separate. They are unlimited. But we see different people in this world, in this universe, with a different name and different color and different height, different way of body. Some are elephants, some are beetles, some are insects, some are another aquatic species, some are some other things. That doesn't mean that the intrinsic form is divided into different soul. Like the space cannot be divided into many, even though we perceive different pot spaces in different pots. Similarly, even though we see different names and forms in this empirical world, that is not true. It's only an imagined idea that we are all different. Names and forms are just an imagination in the reality. So that the bubbles are in nature water only. The bubbles are different, but in nature, the water is non-separate from everything. We don't say different waters are appearing here. Similarly, the indifference between names and forms are being more clearly given by the another way, another verse. And this kārikā says that, now we will start from the first word. Marane sambhave cha eva. Maranam, death. Even in the death. Death is for the names and forms. Death is only for names and forms. In real, there is no death and birth for the intrinsic nature of oneself. From the standpoint of reality, we say one single word, nityam, eternal. Eternal means there is no change at any point of time. It will not die and it will not get birth. It will be the same. There is no difference in its status at any time. Because yet an eternal entity cannot go through any kind of modification, which we saw in the last verse. There is no parts, there is no organs, there is no modifications for the eternal entity. But we see in the empirical world a lot of deaths are going on. It is only for the names and forms. Just like a bubble disappear after reaching the land or seashore, bubbles will be taken away, taken by the sea towards the shore. After reaching the shore, the bubbles will disappear. Again, it will become water. Even before appearing in the form of a bubble, it was water. While appearing in the form of bubble, it is water. After the disappearance of bubble, it is always water. Water never changed at any point of time. From the empirical, this example has a limitation because water is also part of the creation. But the point is, whether we die or whether we live or whether we take birth, no difference in the reality. Marane sambhave at the time of birth, marane at the time of death, chaiva, gati akamanayorapi. Coming to this world or going to the another world and living for a life. Shruti says there are different worlds. Pitirlogam, Bhulogam, Bhuvarlogam, Suvarlogam, Maharlogam, Janalogam, Tapologam, Satyalogam. 7 worlds up. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Padala. 7 worlds down. There are 14 worlds which we never see in our life because we live in the world what we call earth. But when Shruti says, Shruti don't want to make a statement which is not true. So that whatever Shruti says, we believe when it's not hurt myself. Shruti says different things. If you're interested, you can believe. If you don't interest, if you're not interested, you need not to believe. Nothing will happen for the Shruti, the Upanishad. Okay. So going towards a world and living for some time and coming to this world and living in another name and form, all this time there is no modification for our intrinsic nature. This is the idea to convey by this verse. There is no changes for the intrinsic nature of oneself. Some changes are happening which is on the names and forms which are truly imagined. An imagined form he will not become equal with the intrinsic nature of a, a person. Intrinsic nature is the locus. Without the locus, there is no imagination. But the point is, a person, even getting a birth, a person after his destiny, after his karma, after his prarabdha, he departs from this world on that time also, or while he is surviving according to his own results of his own actions. Some may become businessmen, some may become some occupation, some may live in occupation with the different types of government jobs. Some may will be always fishermen in their life. Some may will be always giving some social services without expecting anything from others. All these All these are different from one to one. This difference from one to one make us to think we are all different by nature. That is what been cleared through the example. Pod space is non-separate from the cosmic space. The cosmic space never get divided at any point of time, even we perceive the pot and its pot space. So what we want to say by the Gaudapada Acharya, just like the example, one need to take the life and the death and the survival of an individual. Marane sambhave chaiva gatya gamanayorapi. At the time of death, one never depart from this world. At the time of birth, one never enter into this world. And cha eva, indeed, not also gati akamanayorapi. When there is a traveling from one world to another world, or departing from this world to another world, gati agamanayorapi. Even while traveling from here to there or there to here, stidau sarva sharireshu. What is being established by the Shruti? No other way to understand my intrinsic nature. Only established, accomplished by the Shruti passages. Upanishad only will help through the teacher's words to understand my reality. What is not modified at any point of time, while the names and forms are getting modified and departing and coming and going and again coming, while the death or at the time of birth, it is it is similar with the example of space. It is not dissimilar, it is similar. So while if you understand properly the example of the space, in the same way may one take oneself also. There is no death. I am immortal at any point of time. While living, while you are getting a serious disease or anything, you are immortal. Immortality is my intrinsic nature. It never goes and comes. The reality, the individual soul never become a soul which is subject to death and birth. Immortality is nityam, amritam. It is immortal at any point of time. It means myself, the listener, the intrinsic nature of the listener. Sarva sharireshu, in all the bodies, in all the names and forms, stavara jangamani, sentient or insentient. Because when I say body, there can be a misunderstanding. Only the human body, only the animal body. No. A brick have a body. A piece of wood have a body. A vessel have a body. All the bodies, all the bodies in the world, every bodies in the world are subject to death from the standpoint of names and forms. But the intrinsic nature of the body, which is called Atman, Brahma, it is not subject to any change. It cannot be modified. It will be always one and the same. Eternal consciousness, and having the nature of unlimited happiness. Satyam, Jnanam, Ananta. Without this, you cannot go one step forward. If you know the example properly, if you came to know the example very proper, then it will be very easy to grasp the intrinsic nature of oneself. The Shruti passages is going to explain again and again the same idea. I am also going to repeat the same idea. In the repetition, there is no boring because it is talking about the freedom of oneself. A reality should be repeated because that much impurities on regarding the reality is accumulated in the mind. So, in order to correct all our vision, we need to repeat and repeat and repeat. Habitual errors need repeated correction. That is why the Upanishad also repeat the same idea so that may one grasp the reality about the oneself and become free from this pain and worries which are causing lot of disturbance regarding oneself. So, sthidau sarva sharireshu akashena vilakshana. What is situated? What is been there in every body? Even though it is staying in every body, it never get modified according to the modification happening in the mind, according to the modification happening in the body, according to the modification happening in the situation. It is one and the same. It never get modified. Akashena avilakshana. It is nirvikaraha eva, free from all kinds of modification. Akashena. If you understand the example properly regarding the space, the same manner may one take one's own self, which is not modified at any point of time. While getting the birth, while getting the death, while you are serving in the world, after getting married, before getting married, after getting children, after getting a house, you are not modified at any point of time. The same thing continues. All the imagined ideas have certain modification at all the point of time, but the reality never get modified at any time. Agashena avilakshana. Not, not having any difference from the example of space. Very small bhashya is there. Gada akasha janmanasha gamana akamana sthidivad sarva sharireshu atmanaha janma maranadi akashena janma maranadihi akashena avilakshanaha pratyetavyaha iti artha. Gada akasha, like the pot space. Janma nasha agamana gamana, like the gada space, pot space. While Adi Shankara is emphasizing on pot space. Pot space was existing in the form of cosmic space before the pot comes into being. Once the pot is made by the pot maker, the cosmic space itself got a name called pot space. That's all. Because of the existence of the pot, which is name and form, which is mithya, which is an apparent reality, we say that a pot space exists. In reality, the cosmic space is the only reality. It was existing before the pot's existence. It will continue to exist after the destruction of the pot. That existence is eternal. It never get to modified into a part space. It is always one and the same. So, Gadakasha Janmanasham, like the birth of a pot space, like the destruction of the pot space, one need to take one's own self was existing before the name and form, that body coming into being. After the death of the body, I continue, my body will go. My body will go. My existence will not be absence at any point of time, absent at any point of time. I continue at any point of time. Akashena vilakshana. Janma maranadihi. The death and the birth is same as the example of pot space. Sthidivadu, gamana sthidivadu. Coming and going from different worlds like heaven, hell, etc., etc. If you believe on that, and going to some other place also, and coming back to the same place. Nothing wrong on that. Agashena vilakshana. There is no difference in the example like pot space coming into being while the pot is created. And when the pot gets destructed, the space continues as the cosmic space. So when the pot was been created, it became pot space. No, you imagine the pot space on the cosmic space. The imagination should be understood properly by the help of Shruti and the Guru. Shruti means Upanishad. Imagination cannot go by oneself thinking for a lot of time. Imagination can only go after the help of Guru's words and the Shruti passages. These lines will help. Oh, my beauty is an imagination. My body itself is a non-existent. It's a superimposed idea on the reality. What is the point of assuming I am beautiful, I am not beautiful? This is what we say. Any feature connected with the duality, which is names and forms, are another imagination. First imagination is names and forms are existing. It will be corrected after studying the passages. So, Janma Maranadi Akashena Avilakshanaha Pratyetavyaha. Pratyetavyaha should be experienced or should be understood, should may one know. This is the opinion or this is the fact given by the Adi Shankara. Iti artha. Sankhata supnavat sarve atma maya visarjitaha adikye sarvasameva notpatirhi vidyate nopapatirhi vidyate. Once more I will read. Sanghata supnavat sarve atma maya visarjitaha adikye sarvasameva nopapattirhi vidyate. One word is introduced which we need to understand properly. Sankhadam. Sankhataha. Sankhata. Sankhataha means group of things intelligently put together. An assemblage. Car is an assemblage. It has different parts. Wheels are there. Steering is there. Seat is there. boot space is there, accelerator, gear, clutch, speedometer. Different parts are assembled together and it become an assemblage. Sangadaha. So, first example was car, which is an insentient entity. But in creation, every assemblage is sentient. A tree, a human being, any other species. What a genius in making an assembly like this. Two lungs are there, one heart is there, two ears are there, two eyes are there, 32 teeth are there. All these are intelligently put together. Even the fingers, if you want to put nail polish, there should be fingers and nails. Who arranged the nail in the proper position? Who arranged? This is why the Creator is being praised properly. Creator is Almighty, all-knowing entity, Sarvajnaha, Sarvashaktiman. He has the capacity to do anything in the world. See the jackfruit's size in a tree, and it is holded in a small stem. Once it is ripened, the stem will get dried. Then the jackfruit will fall down. What an arrangement in everything. All the pushpani, flowers, having few petals and some fragrance. The glory should be praised. That's why in the middle of the class, I want to praise the glory of the Creator, whoever you believe, who assembled the fragrance inside these small petals, jasmine, lavender. Every country has a different flowers. All the flowers have different fragrance and a different honey inside that. Who arranged the honey inside that so that pollination will be easy? They get attracted towards the honey and they will sit and they will suck the honey and go to another flower and the pollination will be in a normal way. Who arranged everything? What a beautiful way of creating a versatile imagination. He cannot know. Achintya Rachana Srishti. Shankara always says that. And cannot imagine any piece you take, a piece of leaf, how can I create? There are nerves inside the leaf, a green color is there, big, small, different types are there. So much care and genius in each and every part of creation. So we say simply Sanghadaha. My bones are arranged in a well manner. If there is a dislocation, it will take lakhs and lakhs rupees, so much dollars to locate in a proper position. While I am playing in a football court, while I am playing in a tennis court, or while I am playing some other things, if I skid, there will be some dislocation or some other thing, and the doctor will put in the proper position. If it is not in the proper position, there will be pain, there will be suffering. And a liquid is passing in and through everywhere. Blood. What a beautiful way to ignite this body in and through. The count is less, you feel some other things like that. Assemblage. In one single word, Shankara convenience a big amount of meaning. Assemblage. Lot of assemblages. Different things are there in the world. Sankhataha. scheme of thing intelligently put together. If you turn every part of the creation, if you look at every part of the creation, it is intelligently put together. This is Pujya Swamiji's word. Dayananda always used to say, scheme of thing intelligently put together for the need of another entity. This is what he used to say. For the sake of another person. That we will see. Now, Sanghata, assemblage. Even the car cannot drive itself. Car can only move. Car can only move if a person drive properly. Any assemblage is inert. This is the another logic which is proven already, because names and forms are imagination. Any assemblage is an inert entity. Inert, not entity, inert, insentient. Our body, insentient, without the soul, there is no movement for any part of the body. Sanghataha swapnavat sarve. Any assemblage should be taken as though we dream in our dreams. Swapnavat sarve. Sarve. All the things are just like dream. So assembly cannot have the reality, even though we feel reality, experience, but it is not true. In real, the waking state should be taken as in the form of dream experience. We already mentioned in the first prakaranam, I think, Swapnamaye not in the first, second, I think. Swapnamaye yatha drishtam gandharva nakaram yatha tada vishwamidam drishtam vedandeshu vichakshanaihi. Any heaven imagined in the dream, in the same manner you imagine the waking state experiences also. It can only imagine by the wise who have listened the words of teachings from the traditional teachers. No other way. For all others, this duality is real. My car is real. My kids are real. My body is real. Everything is real. When everything is real, how you are coming out of the worries? There is no way to coming out of worries. Worries are continuing as long as duality continues. Duality is a misunderstanding on the reality. Non-duality is the truth. On the non-dual Brahman, the non-dual consciousness, we impose ourselves lot of dualities. Like world is there, myself is there, my wife is there, my house is there. These birds are there, sun is there, hell is there, heaven is there, my karma has result. All these realities are mere imaginations. So duality is a product of ignorance, not knowing the reality. So ignorance will be the cause for the duality. Duality will become the cause for the worries. Worries cannot end up as long as you believe in duality. There is only one remedy. Non-dual self is my eternal nature, intrinsic nature. In order to know that, I should take a big step. I want to free from my limitations. Everybody has this idea. And one who wants to be free is called mumukshu. One who wants to be free from all kinds of limitation, one who desires, is called mumukshu. The mumukshu comes to know in one's life that ignorance is the cause for my all limitations. So I should be free from all kinds of ignorance. I should eradicate the ignorance. In order to eradicate the ignorance, I should know the right knowledge. Then the person who is desiring to be free from limitations become a desirer for the knowledge. Jitnyasu, the mumukshu will become jitnyasu. A desire to be free from all limitations will become the desire to know the reality about oneself. Wrong imaginations are the cause of my limitations. So I should know the right knowledge. The right knowledge will be the opponent for my all wrong imaginations, and I should know the right knowledge. In order to get the right knowledge, he go under the Guru. Parikshya logan karmachitan brahmano nirvetam ayat. Nasti akrata kritena. Tad vijnanartam gurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad says that after experiencing all kinds of world and taste and food and all kinds of worldly enjoyment like pleasures, playing, sex, everything, you include everything, whatever is the pleasures which are being rewarded by the duality. They will not make you a complete personality. Every time, after a period of time, you will be again a wanting person. Because that happiness which you gained from experiencing a name and form is only the reflection of one's own happiness. So without knowing one's own happiness, the reflection cannot survive for a length of time. That is why after knowing all the experiences in the world, one become vairagi, dispassionate, no interest in the duality because it's all limited enjoyment and it is always fluctuating. Not the same way I got the experience today from the thing or the person. Always fluctuating, any duality. So here, the root cause for the worries are the wrong imagination on a real thing. And this wrong imagination is due to ignorance, and the ignorance being the product of not knowing anything. And knowing the reality, my ignorance will get vanished. It is not an action actually disappearing of the ignorance. The light comes, the darkness goes. We experience every day in our life. So dispelling darkness is not the action actually. Getting to the realm of a guru and studying under him and knowing what is real about me is the action to be done. And this action is always done by the seeker of knowledge, jitnyasu. One should take into this path, no other way. So after knowing the reality, sankhataha supnavat sarve atmamaya visarjitaha. All the names and forms in the creation, whatever we experience, is to be compared in the form of dream experiences, supnavad, similar to the dream experiences. Atmamaya visarjitaha, visarjana, which is being put out, which came out from the illusion, which is the power of Atma, Brahman. The illusion is not something exist separate like other school of philosophy, things like that. In reality, the illusion is the part of Atma. Atma means Brahman. Brahman being the locus and not knowing Brahman after the birth, my illusion comes into picture. I am a man. I am a woman. I am a duck. I am a cow. This illusion for everybody used to come. Atma Maya Visarjita. Assuming oneself other than what I am is called here illusion or imagination. How this imagination happened? An entity is there right in front of you, and you are not clear what is existing right in front of you. So, according to the impressions and according to the experiences from the previous birth, you just experience and imagine something other than what it is. Atma Maya Visarjita. Adikye Sarvasamyeva na Upapattihi Vidyate. Adhikyam, some glorifying features. Utkarsha, something is superior, related to names and forms only. It is due to the Ubadhi. Ubadhi means names and forms. There is always comparison in the names and forms, correct? This is called superior and inferior. Big mango, small mango. Sweeter mango, less sweeter mango. Comparison is there. But in real, in the world, one and only thing, Sarvasamye, the entity which is in and through in every names and forms is equal and similar. This word Samyam is used in Bhagavad Gita several times by the Lord Krishna. Yasya samye sthitam manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma. One whose mind is not fluctuating by looking upon the names and forms. It has Rajoguna, it has Tamoguna, it has Sattva Guna. These gunas are imagination, illusion, and these three gunas are only an superimposition by the Maya, the illusion, in the Atman, Ubadi Kritam. So here, when you perceive something superior, when you perceive something inferior, we need to understand superior things and inferior things are only in the eyes of names and forms. When we see compare names and forms, there is always inferior and superior. As long as inferiority and superiority vanish, how? Knowing the reality of entire world. There's no other way. As long as we are not knowing the Brahman, inferiority and superiority continues. These are all superior things. These are all inferior things. This caste is superior. This caste is inferior. A dog eater is an inferior person. A cow eater is a superior person. Like that, no? Comparison is due to the names and forms taking as a true entity. They are not true. Namarupe satyabuddhim varjayet. May one give up the sense of reality in the names and forms. They are mere illusion. They are mere imagination. If you put an inquiry, they never existed at any point of time. Adikye sarvasamyeva na upapattihi vidyate. Whether you consider it is a superior or inferior, when we know after studying the Vedanta from the traditional teacher, Sarvasamye, there is no cause for their inferior and superior status. One need to understand that there is no cause for inferior and superior status. Shankara makes a statement here I would like to. That is, here he says that superiority. 1 minute, I will take the name. Here it is coming. The opponents may argue that the bodies of gods, on account of their superiority and adorability, cannot be unreal. This is an argument of the ignorant. This is what Shankara wants to say. We take that, divine entities are real superior. As all the bodies, whether belonging to the gods or lower animals, are constituted of 5 elements. That we will enter into that. Panchakosha. Hence, there is no intrinsic difference between God and other beings. It is like the various objects seen in the dream, such as gods, birds, men, beasts, etc., etc. They are made of same thing, and the mind stuff also. Therefore, they are on the same nature and known to be unreal. This is what Shankara wants to say. When the dream vanishes, all the things get vanished. Similarly, a wise man knows all the bodies from Brahman to be blade of grass to the blade of grass, all are to be understood as unreal. So, what is meant by this superiority? I want to say, Gaudapada Acharya may assume that there is a Jesus sitting and he's a divine entity. There is a Lord Vishnu sitting in somewhere and it's a divine entity. This is called superiority. There is no superior status or inferior status for anything in the world. Panchakoshaha eva sarve. All are made of 5 sheets of elements. Panchakosha. That you will deal afterwards. There is no accounting the superiority and inferiority for the wise. In the vision of wise, everything is one and the same. Even though he perceives a lot of difference between names and forms, he don't perceive anything. You may perceive the names and forms having glory. Some are having some without glory. Nothing wrong on that. In the creation, it is how it is meant due to the karma pala, according to their actions they have done. Some are without limbs in their body. Some are with a lot of abilities with their body. A gymnastic appear in a different way. A person who cannot even walk because there is no limb like leg. This is called inferior and superior according to their karma. But a person who understand the intrinsic nature in and through every word which is eternal, is beyond all kinds of superiority and inferiority, which is a mere superimposed imagination on the names and forms. More we will look into the next class. Okay, the same verse with Bhashya and everything. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Gobrahmanebhya Shupamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Janyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Choparahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayah Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam